This is part 5 of How Did They Know, and we are going to ruffle some feathers, push some buttons, and before you leapfrog into trying to respond because someone's emotionally triggered, remember I mentioned beats per minute. Now that can pertain to music if you're a DJ. If you're a doctor, the beats per minute would be, well, is somebody stressing? Do they have an average heart rate, etc.? Do they have any clogged arteries? This tells you a lot of things. If you need a further view, let's do an ultrasound or do some other tests like an EKG in order to understand, not only get an identifiable pattern recognition with an EKG with the rhythmic pattern of the heart, but to see if there's any clogs in there. So let's continue with this series, and there is 3 questions in part 5. So question number 1, how did they know, or I should say better, because there's a lot of snitches out there. And this is for you guys who like to say, oh, you're the snitch. Well, then who called? Who picked up the phone? Who pointed the finger? Who said something, right? How did they find out who Jesus was, right? And why was he both a threat and needed to give proof of what man is capable of, even when just words are being used? Showing their lack of wanting to understand but obtain control, power, whether by force or death, right? So we don't like what you're saying. We see that other people are liking what you're saying. We don't want that because it's threatening our power, our structure, etc. So let's just take this person out. Let's just throw them to the mental hospital. Let's make up a lie about them, so on and so forth, right? Let's say there's a chemical imbalance and, this, that, and the third. Well, how do they know all these things, right? Think about it. Why did Hercules have to go through all his, deeds in order to prove himself? Why did Perseus had to do certain things, right? So on and so forth, right? Think about it. Who was threatened more, right? Were they trying to keep an eye on the food supply? Probably not, because in other contexts, somebody else took care of the food and the water to make sure that it was safe for everybody to eat and drink. Think about that. Question number 2. How come those who say they are doing good operate without asking proper questions? All right? Oh, yeah, no. Oh, you're a doctor. Really? And you have the best experts in downtown Charlotte that could cure cancer, but yet they've had, science around for thousands of years, according to everything else. Don't forget to go ahead and watch the lessons in class before you start to judge or take action on anything, right? Pay attention. Understand, figure some stuff out. Here, make it suspenseful, and don't come back until something dope hits you, quoting Eminem from 8 Mile, right? So ask proper questions, right? Because although they're playing scientists with the children and everybody else that has cancer and every other disease, because, if there's anything science has told us is that, some people need a little bit more time practicing on other people in order to get their skills up. So you need to practice on sheep or whatever? And then let's ask ourselves why Pfizer's CEO is a veterinarian and doesn't have an actual medical degree. Let's continue. Last question. How come people do not do something until it finally affects them? See, this is the whole conundrum here. Everybody was doing their own thing. They had an individualistic mindset. They were playing this game like it was World of Warcraft on their own speed, whatever. That's perfectly fine, right? In the game Diablo, the same concept, right? But then when the corona or COVID virus came out, magically, a strange virus comes out and affects the people in power and everybody else that will take everybody out. And magically, they come up with a vaccination. They magically come up with something that can cure you. Or did they need to test something because they were practicing FAFO, which means F around and find out. So remember, think critically, put your answers down in the comments section, and I will see you guys on the next episode, or I should say the next part of How Did They Know?